Hi guys, I did a video a few years ago titled Expressing the Trust in Court. In this video I made quite a few mistakes. It was one of my first attempts at doing this. I was still in the process of trial and error. So I want to do a quick review. I hope with this video I can clear up any unanswered questions. There was a lot in the comment section, so I will be highlighting my mistakes along the way as we go through the video. I'll also show you my notice of intent that was filed and possibly some more documents if we have time. I'll also brush over where I'm at now and what happened along the way, and what I've learned in the process. So yeah, let's get into it. So you guys know as well that I'm actually in a locked box here. This is one of those locked glass boxes. They actually do a little, just pause it because I think it might be about to start. They do this little thing here where they're trying to get me to move around around the box so that they can quote unquote hear me better or see me better or whatever it was they were trying to say. There has been talk amongst the community to suggest that that is them trying to gain joinder and gain consent, and my liability via me adhering to their orders. Personally, I mean, I was there in the setting, and it did seem that they were genuinely just trying to hear me better, but that could also be the case as well. So that's something to keep in mind there. But here it comes now, where they ask me.
Are you representing yourself, sir?
The judge isn't here at the moment.
No, I'm just going to ask you.
Okay, so with all due respect, before we proceed any further, I'd like to ask may I ask the prosecution a question, please?
Can I just ask you first, are you going to be legally represented in this proceedings? No, it's just a yes or no question.
I'm the sole director, settler and beneficiary of the Joseph Allen Matthews Trust.
We may as well just carry on.
So I'm 24 children, Matthews is not represented.
Can you come down and
I can see you just fine. So this is the part I was talking about. Obviously, you know, I've just very clearly expressed who I am, what I'm there to do, what I'm all about, and now they've tried to say, oh, you know, we can't hear you, can you step forward, blah, blah, blah. So I can see how that could be construed as them trying to gain joinder. But yeah, you'll hear them do that now.
I can't see you. Can you come down?
Can you see me better?
Just come down slightly so that you can talk between the gap and the...
Can you not hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me better? Can you hear me there? Yeah?
Okay, so I just need to go through some procedural things first of all. Are you Joseph Matthews?
I am the sole director, settler and beneficiary of the Joseph Allen Matthews Trust estate. Your Honour, with all due respect, before we proceed any further, may I ask the prosecution a question?
No. You need to...
With all due respect, Your Honour, is he or she not the one bringing the charges? So that there is my first crucial mistake. Your Honour, remember, they are dishonourable. So by saying Your Honour, you're granting them the title of honourability or honourable. Yeah, so I believe that there was my first mistake. You know, I've granted them that status, and then they are moving forward, believing that that's the level set. So let's get into the next bit.
You need to answer your name.
Are you trying to deny me justice, Your Honour?
No. Not just...
Would the prosecutor please identify the defendant?
As Mr. Matthews is not present in the court...
Mr. Matthews is present, for and on the record. Joseph Allen Matthews is present in court today.
Okay, so can I just get back to what I need to do? So I'm going to confirm that you are Joseph Matthews, or family of Matthews, and if you are unable to confirm that to me, or how you are connected to the said person, then I am unable to continue with the case and a warrant would be issued.
My connection to the person is I'm interested. My connection to the person is I'm interested third party representative of Joseph Allen Matthews Trust.
Well, thank you for confirming that, sir.
So that there was my second crucial mistake. Representative. So you are not there to represent yourself as anything. You are there to present yourself, not represent yourself. To represent is to accept liability as trustee, because you are representing the living you as the corporate you. So what you are doing is presenting the living you. So the word representative there, I think, is shot myself in the foot a little bit. So I think that could have been a very crucial turning point as well. Let's get back into it and see where it goes to next.
Can you confirm what your name is?
I am the sole director, settler and beneficiary of the Joseph Allen Matthews Trust.
What is your name? What name do you go by?
I am a man.
Do you have any other name?
I am a living man.
Anything else you can help us with?
I am a living man that lives on this land.
Okay, and do you have a family name that you go by?
I do have a family name, but I am a living man that lives on this land.
Okay, are you not willing to tell me what the family name is, just to help us out, so we can try and get things sorted today?
Well, we all know what the family name is.
No, that's what I'm trying to sort out. It's not a game. I'm not.
Okay, two things there. So obviously she's trying to throw me off there with the family name thing, which is, is somewhat irrelevant, as what I should have been saying there is I operate as a living fact in the living capacity. My name in that courtroom would be Joseph Allen Matthews, and I am there as living settler and beneficiary to the non-de-geared corporate trust of Mr. Joseph Allen Matthews. I should have very clearly been stating that there. She threw me off. I think I was very nervous. I was very anxious. Obviously, the setting you're in is very overwhelming, and I just accepted that that I was Joseph from the family Matthews, which they I think then that's clear joinder right there. That's me accepting liability for it. And then she continues to say, then the second thing I was going to say, it's not a game, she says. I was itching to say, why are we in a courtroom then? Tennis court, basketball court, they've all got, each box in a court has a different set of rules. And this is something I was learning from Bill Turner and a few others. So yeah, they operate on a different playing field, a different level. It's not a level playing field they operate on. Therefore, they can't see or hear you from their box, metaphorically, because you're not speaking the rules and regulations that they're playing by. So when she was saying that, I was just in my mind like, of course it's a game. Let's get back into it anyway. My name is Joseph of the family Matthews.
That's great. Thank you for confirming. And were you born on the 29th of November 1990?
I was too young to remember that, allegedly.
Okay. I can see you've got your date of birth certificate there. Does that confirm that was the date that you were born?
This birth certificate is a bond number confirming, or is a certificate of bond confirming the registry of Mr. Joseph Allen Matthews, who is present in court today. Okay, so where she said then, I can see your birth certificate there, has that not got your date of birth on it? So the date on that certificate has no correlation to the day I was born. The date on this certificate pertains to the day the Mr. Joseph Allen Matthews Trust was created. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what I should have made very clear there. So the day I was born is just an alleged fact because I was too young to remember it, and it's just hearsay based on other people's memories. So that's yeah, that's what I've got to say about that bit anyway. Let's get into the next bit.
And I have an address for Mr. Matthews of 8 Wavering Road in Newport. Is that the correct address? Perhaps I haven't pronounced it correctly.
Sorry?
The address I've just read out, is that the correct address?
So,
If the family of Matthews wants to receive correspondence, where would that correspondence, where should it be sent?
I've been known to reside at that address.
Okay, thank you for confirming.
Boom, fifth mistake. So, what I should have said there is I don't have an address, I live in my body. I should have really also had a P.O. box address set up for correspondence. That does help a lot in these situations. Yeah, so I mean, again, there I've accepted liability for a corporate entity in a corporate abode. So, and I say corporate abode because obviously all the contracts and all of the agreements are you know, they're all in my corporate name, corporate title, aren't they? Because that's sort of how all the system works. So that's how they probably got me there as well. So they already know they've got me in lots of different ways here, but they can see that I'm trying, you know. I think they might have just been pushing to see the extent that I know. They maybe log the different individuals that are at certain levels or whatever, so that they can get maybe differently experienced staff in to handle, or quote unquote handle us. Yeah, let's get back into it.
It's matters that are standing before the court that I need to confirm whether a plea of guilty or not guilty will be admitted to the charges. I'll read the charges and then you can tell us where and what you're going to do.
Okay, with all due respect, are you trying to offer me a contract?
No, I'm not. If you just listen.
If so.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I have a job to do and I'm just trying to do my job.
Okay, may I?
If you let me speak,
May I
and
please?
let me finish speaking, I will definitely give you the opportunity to address me and the court. But it's only polite that you give me a chance to speak, as I will in due course give you a chance to speak. Now please can I just try and do my job and read out the charges as I'm legally required to do, and you can then respond in due course. The charge before the court is that on the 20th of April this year, at Keynsham, when suspected of having driven a vehicle and having been required to provide a specimen or specimens of breath for analysis, in the course of an investigation into whether an offence had been committed, says that you failed without reasonable excuse to do so. Now, in relation to that matter, are you entering a plea of guilty or not guilty?
So I'd just like to highlight there as well. I'm just going to give you all a brief overview of the circumstances and why I was actually in court in the first place. I suffer with Asperger's. I medicate with cannabis. So in the mornings I'll medicate, in the nights I'll have to medicate. And that's normally sufficient just to get me through the day. You know, in the middle of the day I get a bit of a, I get the dip in the medication, but then, you know, I top it back up in the night. But I was driving sometime in the afternoon or the evening, and I knew that all these tests discriminate against cannabis, so they're obviously going to see it still in my system. So I knew how to approach the situation respectfully and correctly, and that was to conditionally accept. So I said, I was more than happy to give a specimen, providing you can show me my lawful obligation written in black and white, which I know there isn't a lawful requirement to do so. Then I previously, a couple of years before that, I'd had a lot of success using exactly the same method. The conditional acceptance, it didn't even end up going to court, it ended up just getting thrown straight out. And I don't know if that was to do with the notices that I'd sent them, or if it was to do with the way I'd handled the authorities and the police. So that's why I was there. But yeah, so sorry, they were just about to go into the plea. They were asking what I was going to plea, so let's get back into that. With all due respect, are you offering me a contract?
No, I'm not going to get into the questions. I've asked you a question. before you ask me questions, please answer my question.
I do not understand and cannot proceed to answer any questions until all requirements for my attendance have been met and evidence that of authority over me has been provided, which is my right, is it not?
So, Imam, in relation to, if you're not able to take...
So I just want to say as well, I think another big mistake there is I needed to slow it down. Like I said, I was very nervous, I was very anxious, it was an overwhelming setting, and I feel like to slow it down and to just, not sort of spew out the words. I was regurgitating all these paragraphs that I'd had, pre-written down, and I was just getting them out as quick as I can because I wanted to be out of there, So I think slowing it down and taking your time is quite important as well. But yeah, let's get back into it.
Take these, either you can not continue the case today, or you can enter a not guilty plea on behalf of this person, and it will be listed for a trial.
We will not allow a plea on our behalf.
So if we can't get a plea of guilty or a confirmation of a not guilty plea, that's the direction of what will happen next. So, are you pleading guilty or not guilty?
Are you operating as capacity of trustee in this matter?
No.
She said no. That's probably because she's correct. I'd already accepted liability far previously in the conversation, quite a few times by the looks of it. So yeah, at this point, this kind of threw me off when she said, no, I'm not the trustee. And I was like thinking, oh, well, is she lying to me? Is this a trick? Is this something I've missed? Am I talking about the correct trust? Is she talking about the right trust? I know all these things go around in my mind when she said, no, she's not the trustee, but I continued anyway. Obviously, I was there to see it through, and I was also in a locked box. So, let's get back into it. Can I please have full disclosure?
Sorry?
May I please have full disclosure?
Yes, in due course, the prosecution will outline the case, but I'm asking you a question first.
With all due respect, I do not understand and cannot proceed to answer any questions, and all my requirements for attendance have been met and evidence of authority over me has been provided, which is my right, is it not?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere, Mum. I'm not sure. Carry on.
Well, I can print the IDPC, and Mr. Matthews can look at that IDPC, and then we can decide then whether he wants to enter a plea today or not. If not, I suggest that a not guilty plea is entered on his behalf.
We will not allow a plea to be entered on our behalf.
We cannot delay the matters any longer. So if you will allow me a few minutes to go and print the IDPC, thank you.
I'll take questions for time. I'll get out and take one.
Wait for trial a few minutes.
As the courts have been abandoned, as settler, I declare my intention to create a trust that benefits the beneficiary. Subject of the matter, special deposit to be assigned to the res to settle any charges. Object res, Joseph Allen Matthews as beneficiary will have all charges handled by the trustee. Boom, nail in the coffin. So, I created a trust and I set the object res, which is the objective resolution, to settle the charges via the trustee. Now, when I walked into the courtroom, they are the trustees, but their objective when I get in there is to accept liability. Their objective to gain from me is to accept liability. So they've got that from me, and now I've just created a trust which says I'm going to settle it because obviously I'm the trustee. So that's where I made the biggest mistake there. yeah, let's get back into it. I haven't got an awful lot of time. I have to go about another 5 or 6 minutes, so let's try and get it all in if we can. I now close this case. Case dismissed.
Are you leaving?
I'm leaving, yeah.
Warrants going to be issued for Joseph Matthews, and he'll be brought before the court in custody.
4 on. Okay, so what she just said was a warrant's going to be issued for Mr. Joseph Matthews, blah, 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 blah. Now, I just want to highlight again, I was in a locked box. The bailiff unlocked, when I said I'm leaving, the bailiff unlocked the door and let me out. Why? My one question here is, and I think I know the answer to it, why unlock the box and let me out if you're just going to issue another warrant? If you're going to issue another warrant to come and get me again, I'm already in the building there and here and now to deal with this. So why are you going to issue another warrant? That's a big question. And I think I understand the reasoning for it is because they generate revenue from every attendance. And if you're there, you know, umpteen times, they're going to make umpteen wages from it. So another mistake as well is I didn't mention my notices of intent that were sent in. Let me just play the end of the clip and then I'll get into those now. On the record, Joseph Matthews was present in court today.
If he leaves without the previously completed warrant issued for his arrest.
See, if he leaves, we'll have a warrant issued for his arrest. Why open the locked box and let me out? So I will briefly brush over as well. This after this case, they did come and arrest me about 6 months later. They come and bang on my door 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, woke me and my family up very rudely, took me from Wales to Bristol in a horribly small and uncomfortable box. So it was one of those little transport van things. So yeah, we got to Bristol. I didn't have any of my so what I actually had ready and prepared for a time like this was I had a big file of documents ready to take. So when they came to arrest me, I picked up my file and took it with me. But they didn't actually let me take them into the courtroom with me. So I had to do most of it from memory. But I did actually achieve more or less the same again. They did the same again. They let me at the locked box again. It was actually a bit more of a scary setting. You know, the locked box was a bit more of a